Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss current affairs of 15th August 2022. So first of all, I wish you a very happy 75th Independence Day for all of you. And as this year is our 75th Independence Day, so it provides a great opportunity for UPSC aspirants to expect questions from your GS paper 1, and you are going to get questions from this independence, okay, that is Indian freedom struggle in your GS paper 1, and even you can expect questions from this Indian freedom struggle in your prelims also. And you have to know about, so from this past 75 years, how we have developed in the different streams. For example, you can talk about economy, you can talk about governance, you can talk about what are the policies of different prime ministers, okay, and even you have to know about some important things or works done by different presidents from these last 75 years, and how we developed relations with the other countries, and regarding science and technology. So in all these spheres, yes, you have to make a note, and there are high possibility of these questions from these areas. Don't forget about this. And today's quote is regarding Independence Day. So let's keep memories of the people who sacrificed their lives for our country alive. So I wish you a very happy Independence Day. So here this quote says that yes, we need to remember, or we need to recall the memories of the people who sacrificed their lives. For example, you can talk about great freedom fighters like Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so you have to write about their contributions also. You have to know about their contributions towards our society. Okay, so this is about today's quote, and now let us try to see the articles. So today's articles I am going to discuss solely regarding Hindu itself. I am not going to take any articles from other sources. So there is one important editorial. It is regarding the terrorist with the past. So this article, which is talking about independence of India, so how we got independence and what are the changes and what are the challenges that we are facing. So this article, which gives a lot of insights regarding independent, that is post-independent India. So now it is like 75 years we got this independence. So 75 years ago on this day, the then Prime Minister of our country, that is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he gave one speech on India attaining freedom at midnight. So in that speech, he focused especially that the achievement of celebrations that we are doing today is but a step and opportunity that we have. So he said that we are celebrating, okay, we got independence and we are celebrating this Independence Day, but actually it is one of the important steps that provides an opportunity to greater triumphs and national achievement that we are waiting for. So he also said that are we brave enough and wise enough to grasp this opportunity? So whether we are going to use this opportunity or not, and whether we are going to accept the challenges or not. So this is the one question that posed by this Jawaharlal Nehru in that speech, and you can use this statement directly whenever you are writing essay regarding independence. So if we're talking about the achievements that we got in this post-independent India, so India, after achieving this independence, we embarked upon new journey. So we started our new journey, and especially we are focusing on our vision of our freedom fighters and as well as a mission. So we came up with the setting up of this constant assembly, and this constant assembly which worked on unique liberal democratic constitution. So we came up with this democratic constitution, and we have significant achievements after we got independence. For example, we came up with the guaranteeing of fundamental rights. For example, freedom of speech and expression, religion, secular state, and we also came up with implementation of this universal adult franchise. So what is this universal adult franchise? So it is nothing but whoever the people, they attain the age of 18 years, they have the right to vote. That is called as universal adult franchise. And we also had some important developments like achievements like separation of powers. That is, actually you know that there are three important organs of state. We have legislature, we have executive, we have judiciary, and there is separation of powers between these three organs of state. That is called a separation of powers. And we also have quasi-federal union of state. So here what happened, there are some more powers which are given to center. Okay, there is no perfect sharing of powers between the state and state center, but we have unitary tilt that is seen. Okay, so it is called as quasi-federal. Okay, quasi-federal structure that we have. And we also came up with the reorganization of states on basis of linguistic, that is on basis of language. And we also came up with the building of some institutions like industrial, educational, medical areas. And we are also progressing towards some development in these all areas. And we are focusing on even knowledge and communication sector. So in these areas, yes, we had some achievements. But not only these achievements, we also came up with some missteps. For example, so yes, we focused on elimination of poverty, but it had not been done yet. So inability to eradicate extreme poverty and also marginalization. So in these two areas, yes, we had some missteps. And even there is no proper complete decentralization of power. So because of this no decentralization of power, that led to increasing of economic inequality in the society. And India, which stands tall as one of the world's emerging economies with advantageous demographic dividend. So recently, United Nations Population Prospect Report also said that yes, we are going to become the most populous country in the world by 2030, and we are going to surpass even China. Right? So at that time, so yes, we are going to enjoy this demographic dividend. But here, there is no proper skills for this youth. Right? So this is the one important cause of concern. And even there is no proper participation of the youth in the elections, and we are having a diverse polity and a diversified economy. So these are some missteps that we are seeing in our country. And what are the challenges that we are facing now? So we are facing one important challenge, that is climate change. Okay, climate change is one of the important challenge that we are facing. So because of this climate change, so in India, we are experiencing some events. For example, increased landslides and as well as earthquakes, floods, untimely rains that leads to floods, recently urban floods and floods in Kerala. And next one here is some areas there is a drought. And because of this drought, that will be also having some impact on agriculture. That will lead to less productivity. And because of global warming, melting of glaciers is happening. So because of this melting of glaciers, that will lead to increasing of sea level. And whenever there is increasing of sea level, the coastal areas will be get inundated into the water. And these people who used to live in this coastal areas, they will come into the inside. Okay, so because of this, that will lead to some socio-political problems or socio-economic problems, right? So these are some impacts which are caused by this climate change, and we are facing this challenge now. And second one is, there is also one problem or challenge regarding emergence and consolidation of dominant political force that seeks to centralize power. Okay, so here we are seeing there is a challenge of decentralization of power. And even if you're comparing with one state to another state, that is interstate disparities, so especially in the southern and as well as western states, they are showing some better outcomes in education, health, care, etc. But here some states in the northern India and northeastern states, they are not showing some progress. Okay, for example, you can talk about Bimaru states. And India also missed strong focus on this primary health care and education, and because of that now we are seeing there are some weaknesses. Okay, and because of this weaknesses, we are not focusing on this primary health care and education, so that had some impact on handling of this COVID-19 in the country. So this is about the challenges. And if you're talking about what is the need, what can be done now, so we can come up with the bottom to up approach. So we need to come up with this bottom to up approach, and we need to focus on building of capabilities, and we need to focus on some affirmative actions, and state responsiveness is very much necessary to get some productive results in our economy. Okay, so we need to come up with bottom to up approach. Next one here is, yes, states need to have good financial resources, and not only states but also local governments, they are to be empowered to implement the programs. Okay, so that will be helpful for the development in the long run. And next one here is, as the world transit towards new industrial revolution, yes, we are moving towards this new industrial revolution. Yes, we are going to have this 5G technology, and we have this Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, robotics, green technologies, etc. And in these areas, we need to focus on efficient employment generation, and we need to focus on the diversification of our economy. So this is the one important thing that we can focus. And next one here is, as you all know that we got independence from this colonial rule, that is from this British rule. Okay, and at that time, yes, we after we got the independence, yes, we focused on the social justice, equality, unity in diversity, right? So these are some important values that we focus upon now to get sustainable development in the country. So this is about this topic, and I hope it is very much clear. And now let us start with the next topic, and this topic is important from your polity point of view. So it is about asymmetrical federalism. So what is the meaning of federalism? Federalism here is proper division of powers between center and state. It is called as federalism. And if you're talking about asymmetrical federalism, so if you're talking about the center and state, there is no proper sharing of powers. Okay, so this is called as, in simple, asymmetrical federalism. And this topic is important from your polity point of view, and this topic is exclusively important from your mains. So now let us try to see this topic. So let us try to understand what is the meaning of asymmetrical federalism first of all. So asymmetrical federalism, it is nothing but federalism based on unequal powers. So we are having unequal powers and unequal relationship, okay, in political, administrative and fiscal arrangements. So in all these areas, like in political, in administrative and physical arrangements, yes, we have unequal division of powers. So in simple language, I can say that asymmetrical federalism means different constituent states possess different powers. So here central having different powers and state having different powers. Or we can say one state is having more power than compared to that of another state. So this is called as asymmetrical federalism. So I hope you got what is the meaning of asymmetrical federalism, right? And now let us move forward and let us try to see, so in which areas we can see asymmetrical federalism in India. So here, especially in this Jammu and Kashmir and northeastern states, this asymmetrical federalism is much more viable. So first of all, if you're talking about this Jammu and Kashmir, so actually this Jammu and Kashmir, it was like a one important princely state before, okay, before we got independence. And after we got independence, yes, one important task which present before this young nation was integration of this princely states. So at that time here Kashmir, okay, Kashmir was ruled by one king, that is Hari Singh, Raja Hari Singh, and through instrument of accession, okay, through this IOA instrument of accession, so this Kashmir which became part of India. So what happened during the independence? So majority of the population in this Kashmir valley was Muslim, but it was ruled by this Hindu ruler, that is Raja Hari Singh. And state acceded to the Indian Union after signing instrument of accession under the special terms. And those special terms that subsequently incorporated in Article 370 of Indian Constitution, which talks about special category status for this Jammu and Kashmir. And this Article 370 which provides unique position for this Jammu and Kashmir. And Jammu and Kashmir also has its own constitution. And especially here, if you are talking about jurisdiction of this Jammu and Kashmir, center has restricted to only foreign affairs, defense and communications, with the state legislature have residuary powers. So here, because of this, we can see the powers which are given for this Jammu and Kashmir is different when we are compared to other states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, etc. So this is the first important example here that we can see there is asymmetrical federalism that is evident in India. And this one is, you can talk about even northeastern hill states, okay, that is 7 sisters. So in this northeast, there is different diversity that we can see. For example, different ethnicity, different culture. And we need to protect their culture and their traditions. So most of the states, they were upgraded from the status of union territories, and they gave some special category under Article 371. So under Article 371, they got some special powers according to these northeastern states. And the safeguards provided to these states through these special provisions include respect for customary laws, religious and social practices, and restrictions to the ownership and transfer of land, and restrictions on the migration and non-residents to the states. So there are some special powers are given to this northeastern hill states as well. And even if at all any time central government is coming up with central sector schemes, So what happened, the sharing will be divided between the center and state. So if you see the northeastern states, it is like 90 to 10%. Okay, 90% of funds from the center and just 10% of funds from the state. So there is also difference here. And if you're talking about why this asymmetrical federalism is important. So if you're talking about importance, so first we need to focus on the securing of rights of people. So whenever we are providing some special provisions in the constitution with, okay, so what happens, so we need to protect the fundamental rights of people, we need to protect culture. So for that, yes, this asymmetrical federalism is very important. And next one is social justice. So for the allowance of some separate laws to govern the different religious groups and provision of different kinds of affirmative actions. Yes, extremely to support these disadvantaged groups, and we need to ensure the justice for them. So at that time also this asymmetric federalism is very important. And next one here is whenever we want to ensure unity and diversity. Okay, so especially in some areas we need to preserve diversity, we need to preserve or protect this vulnerable group of these people with some special powers, and we need to ensure unity in diversity. For example, sabka saath sabka vikas. So in this area also asymmetrical federalism is very important. And next one is to satisfy the different needs. So it acts as a solution to satisfy the different needs of various federal units. For example, to preserve the ethnicity, to preserve the culture, to preserve the linguistic, that is language. So in this way also it is very important. And to reduce radicalization. So if there is no special powers are given, that will lead to radicalization, especially that we can see in this Jammu and Kashmir. To reduce this radicalization, yes, we need this. Next one is better representation in the democracy. So it has helped in providing representation to minority areas and the areas with less population, providing them justice. So for the better representation also, this asymmetrical federalism is very important. So this is about this topic, and there are high chances of getting questions from this topic for sure. So please be prepared with this asymmetric federalism. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding the race of two Asian giants. So this article is talking about India and China. So how they are going to shape this Asia in the next decade. So here we need to focus on this article, and this article is very important from your GS paper to under international relations. So if you see, last month we got this report, that is United Nations Population Prospects report, and it said that yes, India is going to surpass or to bypass China in 2030, and for the first time in this last 2 millennia, so China will not be the most populous society in the world. So instead India is going to become the most populous or the largest populous country in the world, and China will become the second. So China is one of the rare example I can say in this global ranking where India sits higher than China. So I'm talking about just population but not in the economy here. Okay, so please make a note of this. And if you see here, so China, we are going to surpass this China, and China will be the second. And it is one of the rare example of global rankings where India sits higher than China. So I can say it is one of the ambivalent victory for India. Okay, so if we're talking about whenever we are having the largest population, yes, it will be like advantageous, but we need to focus on even economic prospects, whether this growing population are contributing to our economy or not. So these are some important things that we need to remember and we need to keep in our mind. And if you're talking about, so these two Asian giants, that is India and China, yes, they came with some changes from this 1940s onwards. So India got independence in 1947, and even in China, victory of this Chinese Communist Party, and they came up with establishment of this People Republic of China, PRC, in year 1949. So here in this 1940s, yes, these two Asian giants, they had changed some political change. We got freedom, we got independence, and they got establishment of this PRC in 1949. And if you're talking about the common contents of this both the Asian giants, that is India and China, so here there is thawing of Cold War is seen. So thawing means nothing but sometimes we can see high, sometimes we can see very low, sometimes we can see high, sometimes we can see low. So this low portion is called as thawing. So now this Cold War like situation between US and China, which is like a thawing now. And here both the countries, that is India and China, so they had some change the path, and sometimes we can share this common concerns. So India and China, they share the common concerns. So by 1990s, yes, India had a highly protected economy. That means we do not have a liberalized economy. So at that time here, we faced some economic crisis, that is balance of payment crisis. So at that time what happened, yes, we need to go for IMF, and we got some loans to get this balance of payments issue resolved. And at that time we came up with this LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization reforms in India. So by 1990s, India had highly protected economy, and because of this highly protected economy, we are showing a very limited growth in this economic sphere particularly. So because of that, we came with some controversial reforms, that is LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization, okay, at that time of 1991. And finally, we opened our economy in the various ways. And because of these reforms that we came up in this 1991, that led to creation of new class of millionaires. Okay, that led to creation of new class of millionaires as well as increasing of inequality. So because of the privatization, liberalization, yes, the rich become richer and poor become poorer. So it is one important theme of one movie, that is Mallanna. So I hope you had watched that movie, right? So here what happened, because of this liberalization, privatization, that led to economical inequality in the society. And if you see the China had been there first with establishing economic experiment. The Chinese came up with some economic experiment in 1970s, and actually with that economic experiments, that led to the manufacturing, that led to China became the manufacturing hub now. So if you're talking about today's Chinese per capita GDP, so it is like around $9,000, okay, in a year, okay. So per capita means total GDP divided by population. So for one person, the GDP rate here, GDP is about 9,000 rupees a year, and opposed to around rupees 2,000 for India. So in India we have just $2,000 per in India, but here China, they had about 4 times more. And here there are some areas of commonality. For example, we are focusing on this climate change, and we came with the climate change commitments like carbon neutrality of China target here is 2060, and India's carbon neutrality target here is 2070. And we are also focusing on growth, and even in this United Nations, yes, we came up with abstaining from this voting on Russian issue, okay, Russia invasion of Ukraine. So these are some commonalities that we can see between India and China. So this is about this topic. And now let us move on to next topic. It is regarding local governments in a state of despair. So this article is exclusively important, and especially from this polity, every year you can expect question from this local self-governments for sure. There is 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, and this topic is important from your GS paper 2, and that is from your prelims and also mains. So from prelims and mains, you can expect question from this local self-government for sure, and you have to know about background of this 73rd and 74th Constitution and Constitutional Amendment Act, and even you have to focus on different committees. So I want to give you homework for you students. So please open your Lakshmikant and see different committees regarding 73rd and 74th okay, Constitutional Amendment Act, and you have to see the reports also. Okay, so this is your homework for today. So please do this homework, and now let us try to see this topic. So here, as you all know that, so what is the meaning of local self-government? So local self-government is nothing but we are going for management of the local affairs, okay, by these local bodies, and these local bodies have been elected by the local people. So local people, they will be electing the local leaders, and these leaders, they will be involving in the management of local affairs. So this system is called as local self-government. And this Panchayat Raj institutions, they were constitutionalized. They got the constitutional status through this 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992. So through this PRIs, that is Panchayat Raj institutions, that led to building of democracy at the grassroots level. And they also focused on rural development as well. So this is one important thing that you have to remember. And after our constitution, which came into force, so we also added some articles in our DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy. That is Article 40. Article 40, which mainly made mention about the panchayats, and Article 246, which empowers the state legislature to legislate with the respect to any subject relating to the local self-government. Okay, so here after we came with the constitution, yes, we added one article under part 4 of Indian constitution, that is Directive Principles of State Policy, and Article 40 talks about panchayats, and Article 246 empowers the state legislature to legislate with respect to any subject relating to this local self-government. And if you're talking about what are the challenges which are faced by this local self-government, so these challenges will be very important and it will become a separate question for your means. So if you're talking about the challenges, first we have to focus on attitude of state government. So state government devolved only limited number of taxes to this urban local bodies, or we can talk about panchayat. Okay, panchayats. So what happened whenever they are having a limited resources, okay, they can't generate their own revenues. So because of this local self-government bodies, they used to depend upon the states for their finances. So this is one important issue here. Okay, and because of this, even sometimes elections of these urban local bodies that had been delayed because of multiple issues which are mainly shown or which are mainly says by this state government, for example in Tamil Nadu. And not only this, even there is a politicization of this urban local bodies that is seen. So they are seen as mere platform for political mobilization rather than seeing them as effective tools in ensuring development. So they are not focusing on development, but they are mainly seen as just a platform for mobilization. And next one is there is no proper devolution of power, right? So there is no proper devolution of power. For example, in terms of functions, they do not have proper functions and they do not have the power to collect the taxes. And next one is there is improper maintenance of accounts. So as per this Comptroller Auditor General reports, so local governments, they point out there are several lacunae in preparation of municipal accounts related to lack of budget preparation. So there is no proper accuracy in the data and there is no proper updating of data or timely presentation of accounts. So these are some important things that are mainly seen by this CAG report. And there is also shortcoming in this state finance commissions also. So there is inefficient functioning of state finance commission. So because of this, it is having some negative impact on these local bodies as well. Okay, and next one here is implication due to introduction of this GST, that is goods and service tax. So because of this introduction of this goods and service tax, it has taken away some critical resource of the tax revenue. For example, OCTRI and as well as local body tax, or entry tax, advertisements, etc. And next one here is there is existence of multiple bodies. So there is no proper coordination between these multiple bodies. Okay, there is also some overlapping of functions. There is no clear definition of what are the functions of so and so body. So this mainly led to the fragmented governance and that also led to the lack of coordination, financing and expenditure. Okay, so these are some important issues. And if you're talking about panchayats, so there is also one more thing that we can add here is panchayat patis or sarpanch patis. So this is about this topic in detail. And now let us try to see next topic is regarding over 74 lakh cases cleared by this Lok Adalat. So here you have to know about what is this Lok Adalat. So this topic is again important from your polity, which comes in your GS paper 2, and this topic is important from your prelims and mains. So now let us try to see context. So over 74 lakh pending and pre-litigation cases, so they had been cleared by this Lok Adalats. So what happened due to this pandemic? Yes, there is no proper courts happened. So there is no proper hearings which had been held in the courts. So sometimes we went for this video, that is online courts, but it is not much efficient. So here Lok Adalats, they played an important role in the resolving of cases, that is 74 lakh pending and pre-litigation cases, and many of them, they are part of huge backlog which created during this pandemic. They were settled across the country, okay, in this third National Lok Adalat. So this is a very important achievement of this Lok Adalat, I can say. And now let us try to see the details. It says that In a move away from convention, so the legal service authorities under Chief Justice of India, okay, so he said that, so they came up with some technological platforms, and to that technological platforms they conducted digital Lok Adalat in Maharashtra and Rajasthan, and that led to resolving of the cases. And they came up with disposing of over 74 lakh cases, and 16.45 lakh disputes they were pending, and another 58 lakhs they were at the pre-litigation stages. So this is about the number of cases which are present. And if you're talking about some facts regarding this Lok Adalat means nothing but people's court, and it's based on especially Gandhian principles. So this is very important. And as per our Honorable Supreme Court, which is the apex court of India, so they came up, okay, it is an old form of adjudicating the system prevalent in ancient India, and its validity has not been taken away even in the modern times. Okay, so what are the Lok Adalats or the people courts that are present? Okay, so in today also there is nothing like losing of prevalence of this Lok Adalats. So actually this Lok Adalats, they are one important component of ADR, that is alternate dispute resolution mechanism. And this system which mainly delivers justice, okay, which is informal and is also very cheap, okay, to the common people. And the first Lok Adalat camp was organized in Gujarat in year 1982. You have to remember this. And after that, because of increasing of popularity of this Lok Adalats, finally it got statutory status under this Legal Service Authority Act of 1987. And this act which made the provisions relating to this organization and functioning of this Lok Adalats. So this is about this topic in detail. And now let us try to see the next topic. It is regarding our president's speech. So this article is important. Okay, very important from our society and governance point of view. So now let us try to see what are the highlights of this president's speech. So what are the things that she said? Actually, she is a new president, right? So what are the things she said? So that statements directly you can use in your main answer writing. So because of this, I selected this topic for the discussion, especially to help you students itself. And if you see the context, so why it is in news? Our new president, that is Draupadi Murmu, she said the event, that is this 75th year or 75th anniversary of our independence. So this event marked the day when the people had freed themselves from the shackles of colonial rulers. That is, we became free, okay, from this colonial rule of Britishers. And at that time, we decided to reshape the country's destiny. So this is the introduction. So if you see the details, so she said that all of us, we are celebrating this anniversary of this 75th Independence Day today, and we bow to all those men and women who made enormous sacrifices during this Indian freedom struggle. And in this context, our president said that, so August 14th, which may be observed as Partition Horrors Remembers Day. So here also, okay, on this 14th August, yes, we came up with the partition of India into this West and East Pakistan and India here, okay, and we came up with this mainly to promote social harmony, unity, and as well as empowerment. So this Independence Day was a cause of celebrations not only for Indians but also everyone who advocate democracy around the world. Okay, so everyone who are advocating this democracy around the world, yes, this Independence Day, it is a cause of celebration for all who promote this democracy. And India, after so many years of exploitation in the hands of these Britishers or foreign rulers, so we mainly marked by poverty, we mainly marked by illiteracy, there is no proper education. But Indians proved this skeptics wrong. So democracy not only grow in its soil, but we also enrich this democracy. And for example, we can cite example of this universal adult franchise, that is voting right for all who attain the age of 18 years. Okay, since the beginning of Republic itself. So here we need to focus on the civilization. So here our president, she focused on beginning of civilization and the saints, seers of this land. So because of this saints and civilization on our land of India, so we developed a vision of humanity, and that was defined by equality of all, and we focused on indeeds and oneness of all. So this is the thing she focused, and this statement that you can use in your mains answer. And she also said that the celebrations of this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, so here we are mainly dedicating this to the people of India, and the tricolor is fluttering in each and every nook and corner, and actually government came up with this Har Ghar Tiranga, right? So under this Har Ghar Tiranga from this August 13th to August 15th, so every house should have a flag, and actually we also got flag from municipality, and we also had this flag on our home. Okay, so here why this program which just came up by the government. So here our president says that great martyrs, they would have been thrilled to see the spirit of independence movement coming alive again on a massive scale. Okay, so that time of during Indian freedom struggle, yes, mass movements that happened and people they participated. So here especially to showcase of this mass movements and people involvement, yes, we came up with this Har Ghar Tiranga. And if I stand on the building of this office and if I see around this, yes, I felt very happy that every house around this and every building around this had this flag. Okay, so I felt very much happy. Okay, so this is about this topic, and now let's try to say prelims practice questions. So these questions are which appear in our previous years, that is regarding local self-government. So as I said, local self-government is very important. In 2015 there was one question, and in 2017 there was one question. So local self-government can be best explained as an exercise in, first one is federalism, second one is democratic decentralization, third one is administrative delegation, and last one is direct democracy. So correct option here is democratic decentralization. Next question here is fundamental object of Panchayat Raj system. It is to ensure which among the following. So first one is people's participation development, yes. Next one is political accountability, not at all. Democratic decentralization, yes. Next one is financial mobilization. It is not about financial mobilization. So correct option is C, 1 and 3 only. Okay, so now let us focus on vocabulary. So envisaged means contemplate or conceive of as a possibility or desirable future event. It is talking about the possibility of a desire of future event. And embarked means to begin a course of action, and imbued means inspire or to permeate with feeling of quality. Next one here is heralded means be a sign that to be happen, that to be about to happen. So these are some important words which I found difficult, and you need to know the meanings so that you can use these words in your essay or your mains. Okay, so this is about vocabulary. Actually, I didn't came up with the topic of day today because I have to go for flag hosting. So already it is very late and the video is also becoming lengthy. Okay, so I am going to discuss the topic of the day in the tomorrow's lecture. Okay, don't worry about that. And we in Rathod Science, we came up with this prelims test series, and we are providing about 30 tests which includes both GS and as well as CSAT, and already started from the 7th August. So even though it started on the 7th August, so you can attempt those tests. How many times you want to attempt, you can attempt, and whenever you want to attempt, you can attempt those tests. So the cost of this course is just 3,000 rupees for the 1 year. Okay, it is just 100 rupees for one test, not more than that. Okay, for that is 1 rupee for one question. So in every test you will be having 100 questions, right? So for 1 rupee you are getting one question. So try to join this course, it will be absolutely beneficial. And what are the questions that we had framed here? So it is based on the UPSC pattern, and they are the quality questions, and we are also having focus on current affairs also from last 1.5 years. So the schedule of this prelims test series is given in description box, and you can go to that once and you can download it. So not only this, we also came with mains answer writing practice. We had this foundational course for UPSC, CSC 2020 and 2024 with the 2 years of validity. We provide more than 600 hours of video classes, and we are focusing on conceptual clarity. So all these courses are very, very useful. And if you have any doubt regarding these courses, you can call me on this number or you can text me on this number on WhatsApp. Okay, the number here is 8074765513, and you can visit our website rathodsacademy.com, and there you can register with your email ID, and also you can get a lot of insights regarding the courses that we are offering there. So now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu, that is August 15th, and this is Delhi edition. So first topic, it is about India proved skeptics wrong, says President. So this topic I discussed in detail. That is the last topic of the day. And next one, it is regarding a cross-border family visa travels. So man gets visa after 6 years to visit family in India. Okay, actually whenever this border, that is a partition of India happened, so it is Pakistan, it is India, right? So many people, they had been moved from India to Pakistan, Pakistan to India, and this is the one important issue they are facing regarding the getting of visas. And next topic is regarding ratio of women judges has risen. Okay, has risen considerably. So now let us try to see this topic, and this topic is very important regarding women empowerment. So Chief Justice of India designate, okay, our Chief Justice of India at present we have N.V. Ramana sir. He designated Uday Umesh Lalit. Okay, Uday Umesh Lalit believes the ratio of ratio of women judges has risen considerably in 75 years of independence as more women find a judicial career acceptable. Okay, Justice Lalit, he mainly speaking to the Hindu, he said that yes, since 75 years onwards, yes, there is a women empowerment and there is also increasing of women judges also. Okay, so this is the one important thing that you have to focus. And if you move forward, so today's entire paper, it is based on editorials only. So we have number of articles and number of images also. So here I discussed about this article regarding the values envisaged by the builders of India need to be imbibed for the sustainable progress. And next article is regarding India must protect its hard-won freedoms. So here we need to focus on just some important developments that we got from this last 75 years. That is India at 75. And if you move forward in this page number 9, so here you have to focus on this change in the context of this caste. So this caste is one of the important topic in your Indian society. So you have to focus on that and try to read this topic once. And next one here is a system of asymmetrical federalism. I discussed this topic in detail. And if you move forward, I also discussed about this India-China article. And here the time for India to reclaim its moral leadership. So if you have time, you can go to this article once. And in this page number 11, I discussed about this local self-government topic. And there is one article which is very important, that is the fastest growing large economy in the world. So here you have to go through this article once. It talks about the India's economic situation at present. And if you move forward in this news page, that is page number 14, there is one article regarding this women find judicial career acceptable. So I discussed this topic. And there is one important article that is regarding 107 medals for the armed forces. So on this Independence Day, here this armed forces, they are going to get some medals. For example, Kirti Chakra, Shaurya Chakra, etc. And you have to know about them. And next topic here, it is regarding Lok Adalats. I discussed this topic. And there is one important topic here, it is about government lost 8,000 crore due to 5 cases. It is according to the Niti Aayog. So recent report commissioned by Niti Aayog estimated that 5 orders of Supreme Court and National Green Tribunal favoring larger protection of environment, which had led to the loss to the government, it is about 8,000 crore revenue. Okay, so here you have to know about those cases. And here one more important report prepared by this Jaipur based CUTS, that is Consumer Unity and Trust Society International, studied about these 5 cases. That is, first one is Mopa Airport case. Where the court required undertakings from this GMR Goa International Airport Limited, ensuring the additional environmental safeguard. And next one here, it is about Goa mining case. Okay, so in this case, court on 2 occasions cancelled iron ore mining in Goa, and the latest one in this 2018, where Vedanta Group is arguing that their license is still operational. And this one is Sterlite Copper case, and this one is regulation of sand mining and banning of construction activities in this national capital region to curb this air pollution. So these are the 5 cases, and because of these 5 cases that led to economic impact of judicial interventions in these cases, it is estimated that is around rupees 8,000 crore between this 2018 to 2021. So this is about this topic, and this is very important. And if you move forward, here in this page number 16, there is nothing much important, and this is the sports page. So these are some important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. So if you really like this lecture, so hit the like button and share this video to your friends. That will be also beneficial for your friends. And one more thing is, if you want to get the PDF, so you can join the Telegram channel, link is given in the description box. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much and have a nice day. And once again, I wish you a very happy 75th Independence Day to all of you. Thank you so much.